friends, it's Becky, and this is World Watercolor Month. It is July, and I am following the prompts on the Doodlewash website for doing a watercolor sketch every day. And today's prompt is turn. So let's make some pancakes. I'm just gonna make some circle-ish shapes. I don't know if y'all have ever seen pancakes before, but they are not always complete and accurate circles. Sometimes they're a little wonky and wobbly. So I'm leaning into that for this drawing. And then I'm going to have myself a little spatula right here coming off the end, and I'm just sketching this in. One of the great things about this is since they're watercolor sketches, it doesn't need to be perfect. It can be something that I'm practicing, and sketching is for practicing. And I'm not the best at drawing things. I'm getting better because I'm practicing. And that's what I'm doing right here, is I'm practicing my drawing by sketching. You know, a lot of artists will trace outlines and do things like that when they are doing that so they don't have to draw. But I'm just trying to get better at drawing, so I'm just going to sketch this guy in. All right, you guys can see this. I'm going to lighten some of my lines a little bit. Or you know what? I don't need to lighten my lines if I come back in with some marker at the end of it. And I do actually prefer that style, that illustrative style. So we'll be using this after we do that. And then I'm going to start painting my little pancakes here using just a mop brush. This is number 1 Flightum mop brush. I like it because the handles are acrylic, so I don't have to worry about the wood warping. And then I've got some Daniel Smith paints in here, and not all of these are labeled, but I am going to be using some Naples yellow for my pancake colors. Maybe a little bit of this. It looks like a raw sienna, and that looks like a burnt umber. Guessing, but I'm going to be using a couple of these. I'm going to be using this neutral tint and some ivory black. So those are my colors that I'm going to be using for my pancakes. I'm going to start with just a little bit of a wash around here for my cooking surface. And I'm just going to go make sure I get everything except where my pancakes and my spatula are. Just going to get it a little bit wet, spread this water around, except in that area. We'll just do ourselves a little wash. Or if you're in that part of the country, wash. We were a wash, not a wash house growing up, so that's how we were doing. But yeah, the World Watercolor Month is really fun. It's a great challenge for me because I love to watercolor, but I don't do it every day. And I am so happy that I'm doing it because I've been having so much fun, and I'm so happy that so many of you have responded so positively to me deciding that I wanted to do this and to share it with you with some videos or pictures. I'm probably not going to be doing all of them, but so far they've been easy to record and upload. I'm just taking some of my excess water because I don't want it too wet. I don't want there to be puddles on here, so I'm just picking up some of my excess water with my brush and scraping it off. Alright, now, neutral tint is what's going back here. For my background surface, it's going to end up being a really light gray. It should really help the light color of the pancakes pop a little bit better. Out here. I am ready to have a fantastic 4th of July. I hope you guys are too. We're all done with work for the day. Got the day off tomorrow. Back at work on Friday, of course. But not all of us will be. Alright, so with this wash in place, and I'm just gonna dab a little bit between these guys. All right, I'm gonna let this wash dry completely, and then when I come back, I'm going to paint in my pancakes. All right, so my background is dry. I'm going to paint the base part of my pancakes. And again, I'm going to just use some of this Naples yellow for that. It gives me a nice goldeny pancake battery look. And I'm just doing a really, really light wash because I'll go back in to add a few more details. I'm actually going to do it a little bit darker on this one because this one has already been turned, because the word of the day, the magic word, is turn. So let's just do a little more pigment on this one. And while this is still wet on this one, I'm going to pull some of this raw sienna and drop it in and let the watercolor do its thing and spread out a little bit. I'm actually gonna take some of the color off of this brush because I think there might be a little too much. I'm just gonna pick some of that up. Too much color. For pancake that's already been turned. You know, it gets those nice little grill marks on it on the other side. This one is going to stay being this color, and we'll go in and make it look more like it's ready to turn after this part dries. Just want it to be a little more consistent in its coloring, like that. I think I'm going to go ahead and do my spatula. I'm going to use some lamp black for that because I have black silicone spatulas here, so it's going to work for me. I'm just leaving a little bit of space between this pancake and the spatula so that the black doesn't bleed into that wet pancake bit right there. And actually, it's coming out a lot more gray than black. So let's get, I'm gonna have to do another layer, I think. That's how you achieve depths and darkness, is layers. Not that it needs to be completely black. But yeah, we'll do another layer of this after this first layer dries. Yep. All right, making progress. So the fun thing about watercolor is waiting for layers to dry. I'll meet you right back here once that's done. Okay, we are totally dry. So I'm going to paint a little bit of detail here on this unturned pancake, and then do another layer of the lamp black on my spatula, and then that'll be the final painting before we let it dry completely and I start doing my lining. So for this one, I'm going to use this Princeton Round 2 Princeton Heritage because it is a finer brush, and I'm going to grab this darker brown, and I'm just going to do little dots. I'm going to be holding my paintbrush vertically to do little dots on the top of this, because I don't know if you guys have ever seen a pancake before, but you usually know that it's about time to flip it when the little air bubbles have opened up in the batter. And you've got little dots of bubbles, and it's ready to flip over like that. Super quick, super easy. Let's grab some more of the slant black. Get that spatula looking a little sharper, a little cleaner, a little more, a little darker. And also, since the pancake is completely dry, I can now get my line right up next to it without worrying about the black exploding into it. Going there. There we go. Right, so now it's not very much that needs to dry, but I do want that to be completely dried before I do my outlining to make the ink part of my ink and wash. So I'll be right back when that's done. All dry. Let's add some ink to our ink and wash. Just to define our pancakes a little bit more. Go. I mean, I could probably have just done this without adding the ink and wash part, but I like the way it looks. Maybe it's because I grew up on cartoons, or because I really like illustrative, artistic styles, children's book illustrations, that sort of thing. There we go. Let's take off our tape. It's always so nice when you can see your outline on that. And I'm just going to write down the day it was, and it is World Watercolor Month 2024, day 3, and the prompt was turn. Here's the date, 07/03/24, and here's my little signature. Bloop. And that's my watercolor sketch for today. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm going to put a link to the Doodlewash site below in the description, so if you want to check out the challenge, see what other prompts are coming up, and maybe find out about the charitable organization that this is supporting, it's all going to be right there in the description. Hope y'all have a great day. Bye!